hard to believe more than a decade has passed, but the deadly coordinated attacks that were conducted by Ansar al-Sharia, an offshoot of al-Qaeda, on September 11, 2012 at the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, and at a CIA annex located a mile away, marked one of the defining events of the Obama era. Subsequent disclosures showed that in the months leading up to those attacks, the State Department in Washington had repeatedly rejected U.S. diplomats' requests for more security in Benghazi. When the fires subsided, the casualties included Chris Stevens, the American ambassador to Libya, CIA contractors Glenn Doherty and Tyrone Woods, former Navy SEALs who responded to the attacks and were killed by mortar fire, and Sean Smith, an information officer at the consulate. Susan Rice, then the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, now a senior White House advisor to President Biden, appeared on all 5 Sunday shows shortly after the killings to declare that the attacks were not premeditated, but occurred rather after a protest over an inflammatory video ran amok, a narrative later exposed as false. Hillary Clinton, who was Secretary of State at the time of the attacks, testified before the Select Benghazi Committee 3 years later, where she posed the memorable question, what difference at this point does it make? Fast forward to yesterday, when amid all the fanfare surrounding the historic visit to the White House and Congress by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the White House press office quietly announced in 2 sentences tucked into a routine email that President Biden had signed House Bill 310 into law, posthumously awarding the 4 Benghazi victims the Congressional Medal of Honor. Various attempts at awarding this honor for those victims have been made since 2013, but the 2 lawmakers who pushed for it and finally made it happen are Congressman Stephen Lynch and Senator Ed Markey, both Democrats of Massachusetts, the state where Glenn Doherty was born and raised. Doherty's name and those of the other 3 Americans killed at Benghazi also appear on a plaque that commemorates the fallen in the State Department lobby.